It's a very good afternoon again to one and all as we welcome you here to the Otto Bolden Stadium in central Trinidad, where we are getting ready for another interesting battle in the CFU Club Shield 2025 as we get ready for a clash between Club Franciscain out of Martinique and Ducks United. Of course, it's all being brought to you by the TTFA, Flow as our main sponsors, in addition to the CFU. And of course, the CFU Under 14 Challenge Series. It's all parts coming up on August 15th through the 24th. It's a girls' challenge, and it promises to be an interesting tournament indeed. So look forward to that one as we get ready for more action here. Club Franciscain against Ducks United. And of course, Ducks United, if you look at it, it's a real amalgam of outstanding players, some from Jamaica, some from Trinidad and Tobago, of course, and athletes in action as well. So it's a real amalgam, if you know what I mean. So it should be an interesting clash between these two teams. Of course, the Club Franciscain trying to keep the tradition of outstanding teams coming out of Martinique and with outstanding players also coming out of the country of Martinique with that sort of French lineage or the connections. And of course, they also have been able to produce some really outstanding players, many of whom have dominated the region in terms of Caribbean football. So we're just getting ready for the teams to take to the field, but we'll get to that when we come back.
It's not simply about how many games you win, but more about how many lives you touch. This is why we do it.
Because football is life.
Because we know firsthand the power of football can positively change lives.
Because there's nothing else we'd rather do.
Because our hearts beat football.
Because there's nothing quite like representing your country.
For the love of the game.
Por el amor.
Pour l'amour.
I'd leave the war.
For the love of the beautiful game. Not simply about how many games you win, but more about how many.
Looking to put your brand front and center on the biggest screen in the house? That's where Flow comes in. With dozens of networks and thousands of shows, we can precisely pinpoint your customers based on interest and lifestyle all day, every day. From entertainment, sports, news, and foodies, we have them hooked. Contact one of our sales teams today. Flow, giving you a smarter and affordable way to advertise locally and regionally.
Folks who are making it possible, and of course we looking ahead to the kickoff in this game, and this is the Club Franciscain. Their lineup: Aldric Abulor, Stephanie Abdul, Mathis Janvel, Sebastian Lepel, Romero Okne, Mathis Priam, Christophe Jorgen, Clerville Philippe, Johnny Marajo, Olivier Attali, and Andrew Gentile. That's their starting 11 from Club Franciscain. Of course, making the starting lineup for Ducks United, Randy Jamal Gomez, Antoine Fleming, Akeem McIntyre, DeAndre Charles, Sylvanus James, Keandre John, Alexander Fleming Franco, Leon White, Naomi Crooks, Jermaine Ricketts, and Keston Julian. Again, those players from different parts. Of course, Ducks in their blue outfits and Franciscain in their all white.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for Club Franciscain. In goal, number 1,
So the
Aldrich
players greet each other. We're getting ready for the kickoff here. I'm sure they're looking forward to this. They would have seen the tournament start yesterday, and they had two close games here. One a 1-all tie, the other one a 1-0 result, an own goal separating the two teams here. So I'm sure they would have learned from that and tried to build the referees or the officials for this game. Timothy Derry from Trinidad and Tobago, Stefan Mayberry, Bermuda, Jesse Phillips out of Grenada, and the fourth official is Cleon Cullen out of Barbados. So this is the Club Franciscain from Martinique, and they are officials for this encounter. Here again, the referee, the man in the middle, is Timothy Derry of Trinidad and Tobago. So the two captains stepping forward there. Christophe Jouron out of Franciscain, and of course Akeem McIntyre in the blue from Ducks. From Ducks United. And that is always a lovely picture, keepsake for all the players, even the officials, as they get ready to do battle here today. It's another encounter in the CFU Club Shield 2025. I'm Ruskin Mark, thanking you so much for being with us. Keith Jeffrey, the assistant coach for Ducks, and he was just at the helm of the team out. It was in the club championships, in the World Cup qualifying championships, I might add. And of course, a former Jabloteh coach here in Trinidad and Tobago, Sawa Jabloteh. Keith Jeffrey, outstanding footballer himself, especially at the youth level. And then, of course, he joined the police service. And his brother was also an outstanding footballer, Ricky Jeffrey. So we're getting ready. It's Ducks are the ones who are going to get things rolling here at the Addo Golden Stadium. The first of two games again this evening. In fact, all our games here today, well, yesterday, today, tomorrow, and Tuesday are all doubleheaders. So you could look forward to outstanding football, exciting football. So here we go to kick things off here in this encounter between Club Franciscain in the white and Ducks United in the blue strip. And trying to ensure that they keep things relatively quiet. Franco also assisting at the back is Crooks. So again, these teams, I'm sure, keen to get a result because the tournament format, although there are 6 teams in each of the 4 groups, they won't play each other as is the custom. This is a short tournament, so teams are only getting to play twice or play 2 games, and then a semi-final and the final. So results, that's critical in this stage. Here's Jougon, the captain, trying to ensure that his team organizes very well. Mattis taking his time though. Jogon again trying to spread it, but has it intercepted. And a bad miss there. Middle mix of Abdul and company trying to keep it further. Here's Abdul now getting another touch. And at this stage, that's what most players want. They just want to be able to feel the ball on their boots. Here's a lovely ball opportunity quickly. And trying his best to keep it. Still has possession. And now they're trying to keep it. The captain, Jogon, he decides he's going to go all the way back. It's coming all back now to Mattis. He's looking up for something, and he looks up and he finds Lepel. Lepel, again, good approach work here from the Frenchman. That's a great ball. That should be a goal, and it is. Unmarked, streaming in, coming in at the back post, and nobody picked him up. What a beautiful ball. Curling in from the right-hand side, and on the blind side, he came late, caught the defense napping. And in the 3rd minute of play, the Frenchmen find themselves in the lead here. What a beautiful goal, and what a start to the tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, that goal for Club Franciscain, the 3rd minute was scored by number 1.
So Clevin Philippe, or Philippe, giving them the lead.
Franciscain 1, Ducks United 11.
So Crevril Philippe opening the scoring here for the Frenchman. And they're looking for more. Another chance. Nobody home. And certainly Ducks under a little bit of pressure here. McIntyre trying to settle them down. And you could see that they haven't really settled as yet. And here they go building again now. Mattis looks up to Captain Jogon. He again just taking a touch. They have good numbers, good position, and trying to do. That's the man, Lepel, with that brilliant cross that resulted in the goal. And here they go again. And another sweet cross ball, lovely ball. Inside goal! And another brilliant goal indeed in the 4th minute of play. And that time it's Mattis Priam who scores. So 2 goals in 2 minutes. Look at it again, a lovely cross ball, and the return just gets it on the right foot, buys a little time and space, takes a look, and one mark.
Club Franciscain, the 4th minute was scored by number 7, Mattis Priam. The score is Club Franciscain.
So Mattis Priam makes it 2-0 now, and Ducks are yet to settle. They've been stunned here at the Adeboldon Stadium. So we played for long periods yesterday, couldn't get goals. It was 0-0 at the half in the first one, and then we had an own goal in the second half of the second one. But here we've had 2 goals and we're inside 5 minutes, so what a start. And here they come again, the ball given away, an opportunity for them to maybe take it forward quickly, and probably a little too anxious there. Atelier Olivier had time and space. That's a good ball, and played early o'clock. Now Ducks trying to build something. They don't have much forward of them, and crowded out quickly. Skipper Jouron looking up, decides that he's not going to rush it, and they're just going to keep possession in the middle of the park. Again, free as a bird out on that left-hand side. This is where all the damage has been happening, and they come again. A little bit overplayed there, and this time they have to slow it down and start it over once again. Another ball played in, and another off the bar. Another brilliant opportunity, and that was almost 3-0, and it was that man Priam again. They're not out of the woods yet. This one is hooked back. Shot, saved. Brilliant save by Gomez. Well. They are laying siege on the Ducks' goal, and they could easily have made it 3. The bar denied them there, and before they could get it out of harm's way, in came another shot. Lovely approach work and a nice feed And that time, the keeper, Gomez, was at his best, and he needed to be, because that too was looking to hit the net. So what a start this is here. Lepel trying to see if he could be there. This is another opportunity here, so they're still scrambling a bit here right now. Bucks, they can't seem to get it out of their own half right now. Such is the pressure that is being applied by the Martinicans. They are really laid siege here. Onsime was the man providing those crosses, and he just has his markers under siege down that left-hand side. So a little bit of a respite here for Ducks, and they need it, because it's almost as if from the first whistle they've been under pressure and they haven't really been able to settle down. Chance for them though to do exactly that. Just keep possession of the ball as much as they can, but you cannot give it away in your defensive third. And that has been kind of par for the course so far for them. This time they're able to finally bring the ball forward, but they lose out again quite easily. Marajo gets it out there to the captain, Jugon now. He has possession. And he loses it though. That was Priam coming deep for it, but then losing the handle on it and almost lost it in a very dangerous position. However, they get possession once again. Marajo turning, twisting with it. And then they decide, let's keep possession for some time at least. Abua, and again ball just given away, and they don't need to. They have so much possession and they've been building the ball quite nicely. Franciscain coming out of the back. Keston Julian getting upended, trying to recover there. Here's Naomi Crooks. Once again, Ricketts, Jermaine Ricketts out of Jamaica. From deep in the back end, almost losing his foot in there. You don't want that, Keanu John. Here's a lovely ball, but it's way too straight. And the breeze just kind of hangs it up there. And the goalkeeper, Buloa, getting his first little touch. Back it comes to Mattis now, taking his time, looking around for some movement. Olivia came for it short, but then he decides to go over to Osigne. And off to the races we go again. And that might actually go over the line, so it's going to be a corner kick. And so they now have to defend this. They haven't been able to stay with them during open play. Now they have set pieces to worry about. It'll be interesting to see how they line up here, because defending set pieces quite often has been the Achilles heel for a number of these teams. They have numbers in the box, but they really don't mark as they should. Right now, there are 4 white shirts in the area. And let's see if he can bring it in there. Lapel swings it in again. Dangerous. And 2 defenders there trying to get ahead of Marajo. And just managing to get it out. So here we go again. Let's do this again. 4 white shirts in the area. This one is a little bit deeper to the back post, just over the head of Christophe Joron, the captain, and he couldn't head it back into the danger area. Probably a little too much volume on that one. As they try to build it again, coming out of the back, not having much luck because it's intercepted again. And Ducks still not able to keep possession. They lose it again, but that's a dangerous pass, probably too ambitious. And here they have a chance to do it once more. Lovely ball in to the captain one. He's taking his time, looking for the shot. And the sting taken out of it. And so no problem for Gomez on that occasion. But you could see they're trying their best to get shots on target and realize that they can just attack the ball and maybe have success in midfield doing it. And here they go again. Priam gets it over now to Captain Jogon. He does well. And they're just coming forward in numbers now. Everybody seemed to want to touch on the ball. Lovely play by Abua. Spreads it out wide. It goes all over the way to Osinye. And he gets it back now. Decide instead of playing the attacking ball is going to just hold on to it. Mattis. Loads of time and space down the right hand side as they really start to tighten the screws here once again. Olivier thought about it, about hitting the big early cross and decided against it, but now it bounces into touch. So an opportunity here for Ducks to just regroup. They're trailing by 2-0. A third-minute item from Cleverel Felipe, and a minute later, Mattis Priam headed home in the 4th minute for 2-0. And here is where they have their problems. They have real difficulty bringing the ball out, and they run into problems doing stuff like this. That's not the area you want to be dribbling the ball, because any mistake there is danger brought on yourself, so to speak. So here they come. Wonderful conditions here though at the Bolden Stadium. Nice and bright and sunny. And because it's a 5 o'clock kickoff in the afternoon, it's not as hot as it would have been earlier. Although we had a little drizzle as well. Been a funny day today. Started brightly, then the rains came. Then the sun came back out. Here's a lovely ball, brilliant ball, played down the right-hand side. Can he get across to it? He does, in fact, and then sends a brilliant pass in, a dummy in the area. It just seemed as if it was going to throw off Priam there, but it was a lovely ball, again, played across the box by Lapel, and when it came, they just kind of got in each other's way. There, here he is again, Priam. Plays a nice little ball inside, and a nice interception there, but you could see what they were trying to do as they now try to regroup your Ducks. Julian gives it up as they look to push it around at the back. Keanu John. And more pressure coming from Osanme over that left-hand side there. He's a busybody. Osanme is a real handful at that left-back position. Here he is again. Always in the Priam. Decides that he's going to go back this time. And an opportunity here, thinking about the shot. Still sizing it up, but just not able to pull the trigger. Coming all the way over from that left-hand side there. But Gentile here they come again. Juron decides to slow it down. Lapel, he's been having a good game so far. Further back, Mattis waits for it. Here is the big man in the middle. Priam. Actually coming back, all the way back there was Abua. Now he gets it in there. That's a good little flick on there, but I don't think he read it, Olivia. And again, gifted away to them. Osinme just trying to thread the needle there on that occasion. And this is problems here again. Lovely tidying up here, but they keep losing the ball right in front of the defense. And that's dangerous at any level. Quick 1-2 again. And the third pass just not what was required. So Ducks having their problems. They haven't sorted out yet their spacing. And as a result, they resort to the long ball out of the back. They're trying to free up James. But that might work at times, but they need to be a little more organized, especially in terms of the organization at the back. Because that seems to be where they're having their main issue, sorting out the movement of the men in white and the tracking. That's part of the issue as well, because when a team is moving the ball diagonally or forming triangles on the field, you have to be able to slide both to the left and to the right. And right now, the men in blue are a little bit stagnant, a little bit stationary. The long throw. Into the area it comes, but again, the skipper is back there to help out. And now Gomez, the goalkeeper, he has brought off 1 or 2 big saves already, plus he was helped out by the bar earlier. Dondre Charles and company. Here's Charles once more, as they again have their issues trying to organize. John gives it up. Charles. And once again, just the rhythm is just not there at the moment. Wiley was the intended target. But here comes Mattis now for Franciscain. He gets the return ball. Priam coming deep for it. Moving around, causing problems. And this one is given away, but the referee was waiting to see if he could have played an advantage. And, but he couldn't, just clipping the legs of Marajo. So once again, it's in a pretty on Sime. Looking around here now, he and Lapel trying to fashion something. Abua goes to the back post. Here is Lapel. Is he going to hit it? Osinme floats it to the back post. And players getting in each other's way. There's a real scrum trying to get it out. Priam plays a nice little ball over the Jogon. Decides to bring it across. And it's nicely big, they're thinking about it. There's another ball played in, another header over the bar this time. And again, a good floating cross. Marajo was open, but he couldn't bury it this time. Look at it, a nicely weighted ball, just curling up there, nicely weighted from Abua. Good skill out on the far side there, but they need to turn that in, or Ricketts and company cannot keep possession. Waiting for the extra man to get there. And that, of course, was Gentile. Here's another ball spread over on that far side, a ball. And problems once again, the ball is just a little overweighted. And the keeper presented himself for the early ball. And they bypassed him, but now it's a chance for them to probably spring forward. Keston Julian looking for some movement, not finding much. So 2-0 now inside the 22nd minute of play. Another ball just played up and dealt with quite competently. Well, until he decided to take too many touches at the back. And guilty of trying to overplay there when he could have easily have used his left leg to control the ball, but he tried to do everything with the right foot. Charles, again, looking for that ball behind the defense. And that's not a bad effort at all. Unfortunately, though, it was blocked immediately. And it remains Duck's ball. They have a throwing on that far side. Keanu John to launch another one. There he goes. And again causing issues here for the men in white, but the referee says it's going to be a goal kick. Yeah, but again, those long throws could be very dangerous. They're a weapon all by themselves. Because they don't come with the same pace as if it was a cross ball, but they kind of float sometimes, and you can mistime your jump if you're not careful trying to handle them. That's a lovely ball played inside. Here they come again. Another great ball, another opportunity here for Franciscain, and how did he miss that? All he needed to do was just guide it in. It had enough pace on it, but he seemed to mistime his attack as an approach to the ball, and he was trying to stab it with the outside of the left foot, and the ball just didn't cooperate for him. But another good chance for Franciscain. Here they come again. Good pressure this time, forcing Matis to go back, but only as far as Abol, who's been seeing quite a bit of the ball, operating right across the front of the defense. Gentile. Boulot. And here they go again now. Priam trying to fight off the challenge over on that far side. McIntyre doing well, but then forced all the way back to John, who looks up and sees that he has support coming from Franco. Lovely little ball back inside the Crooks and company, but they're not making the kind of progress that they would like. And finally, caught in possession there, appealing for a whistle. The referee not buying it, so we play on. And Ducks finally getting a little sniff of the ball, trying to get into the game, trying to get some rhythm into their play. But they keep running into a wall of white shirts who are here, there, and everywhere, and they lose a player. He goes down, and it looks like Marahu, who has been very active, and he might have been stepped on, or is it his knee that he's holding? It might just be the side of the calf muscle there. He probably got a little knock. Nothing like the magic spray to cool that down, but this is a good opportunity for the players on both teams to get some refreshments. Just to rehydrate as much as possible and get ready to go again, because the game has been played at a pretty, when you have possession, the amount of possession that they have had, it means you're running quite a bit. And when you do not have possession, it means you're tracking the ball a lot. So either way, there's plenty of running involved, plenty of movement. So one you do it with the ball, the other one you do it without the ball. So very sportingly, they give the ball back. And they start all over again. Abul, all the way over on that far side it goes, but there is Osenme. Gentile, with a lovely ball played forward again, running away from the defense, causing problems over on that far side there. Cleverel Philippe, the man who scored the first goal. And really just trying to overplay there. A ball again, wins it back. Trying, and he does win it back a second time. Here's the man who was just down there, Marahu. And arriving late once more, keeping possession, has the ever-present Osinme. He looks up, sees he has his captain Jogon. He looks up now and sees that he has his man Abu again. He gets a chance. Can he finish it off? And probably ran out of ideas there, or he got too much on top of the ball. The ball was kind of stuck under his feet. So you could see another good opening. They just couldn't get the shot off. And that would have been the main thing with all the build-up work. You want to at least get shots, and you want them on target. They haven't had any in the last 10 minutes or so, but they're well in front by 2-0, approaching the half-hour mark. A nice little ball headed back inside, but Wiley can't get to it. Or rather, Sylvanus James, been running, but not being served much. It's only getting scraps at the moment. And he's the kind of like the lone striker up there on his own. Here they come again. Mattis. Bulua does a good switch of play over to Osinme over on that far side. He didn't like what he saw ahead of him, so he brought it back to Gentile. Gentile gets it back again to Marajo. He tries to thread the needle. Again, trying to free up the speedy Cleverel Philippe. But it was just too far ahead of him. Ian Olivier. No. McIntyre. Can he get his team going? But as soon as they get possession of the ball, they're unable to really string the passes together, and that could be very frustrating for them, especially for the front runners, because they're not getting any kind of service. It's another neat little attempt there by Jogon. Early ball out. Opportunity for them to run with it now. That's a great ball, but is it too straight? Yes, it is. And nicely covered there by Matis. And immediately they start the counter. Gentile streaming forward here. Osime. Osime has had a good game. It's been relatively quiet as of late, but he started like a man on fire down that left-hand side. So too has this man, Lapel. He has seen quite a bit of the action in the first 15-20 minutes. And now Osime with a chance to really stretch them out now. Philippe comes streaming in, and he gets it back inside it to Maurahu. He has a shot, and it's blocked again, but Jogon keeps possession for Franciscain. They're really just keeping the ball moving all the time, shifting the attack, the point of attack from left to right, and that's really poorly done. He had options, but instead he just opted to take the shot. There is the Ducks bench. Of course, looking for answers right now. Trying to really encourage them, but that's dangerous because they're putting it right in the heart of the attack. Another opportunity here. And for a moment there, he was trying to get something going. Here again is a chance. In the middle it goes, and it deflects out. Really. And another opportunity there that could so easily have gone in. The captain thought he had hit payday there. Jogon came late. And you could see the ball deflecting. It just kind of rode up there. And the hookback nicely weighted. And he just was stretching to reach it. So here we go again. Onsime rather. 33 minutes, almost 34 minutes gone. Ball played short. Lapel gets it back to Onsime. He decides to go back post again. And really poorly done there because Abwal had plenty of time to score from there, so he had to head that back across goal. He had 3 or 4 white shirts queuing up there, waiting to receive the return ball. It never came. And again, it's 3v1 at the back there. Fighting a lone battle is Sylvanus James. And but sometimes all you can get is one touch. And by the time he looks up, there are 2 and 3 white shirts there to take the ball away from him. So again, here's James. And this time he gets an opportunity to run with the ball and can't keep it in. So a little bit of a frustrating afternoon for him. Every time he gets the ball, there are like 2 white shirts, if not 2, sometimes 3, just shadowing him and making life very difficult for him. Abwal, again, who has had, like I said, a good bit of the ball. Here is Romel Onsime. Back it goes to Gentile. Matis. Again, plenty of room for him to bring the ball. He doesn't have to go under his man. Plays a lovely little ball down again, and Mahahu is right there. Marahu sends it back. He has Lapel shapes it. The captain decides he's going to go across field. Jogon Another return ball over on this side, and really he couldn't resist it there, Lapel. Sebastian Lapel saw it coming, and he went for the dramatic and the spectacular and muffed it entirely. But it was a good switch play, and all he had to do was return the favor, played right back across the face of the goal. Probably would have had a better result, but he couldn't resist the volley, and he decided to try his luck. Jougon, in it goes again, and another tackle to bring down the big fella, Maurajo. So he's on the carpet again, and that's going to be the first yellow card of the match. A late challenge coming in there, and that's going to be Franco who gets a yellow card. When you pick up a yellow early in the first half, it kind of plays in your mind a little bit, because you have to be careful. A second yellow and you're gone.
Ladies and gentlemen, that yellow card has been issued to Dulce United number 13, Alexander Fleming Franco, in the 37th minute.
So from that yellow card and that infringement results in this free kick, and almost dead center of goal, maybe slightly to the right. And who is it going to be? It's the captain, who has a crack and scores. Really, what a goal. It flew in. It actually swerved. I'm not sure if it took a deflection. And Gomez, who is really an outstanding keeper, but in the 38th minute, look at this rocket here from Christophe Jougon.
The 38th minute was scored by the captain, number 10, Christophe Jougon.
So Jougon, with a brilliant strike there, makes it 3-0 now in the 38th minute. So things are going better and better, I should say, for the Martinican outfit. And again, good timely interception there from Gentile. And he's quietly been having a pretty good game so far. Charles trying to build it up there now. They come all the way back, trying their best here. Crooks, he hasn't had much of the ball, certainly not in an advanced position. And he's taking it back over to that far side where they're trying to get John and company going, but they haven't been able to consistently do the right things. Their passes have been very inadequate a lot of times, either in weight or direction, and then the control is another factor, or the lack thereof. There's Gentile again. Ball played inside. Lovely football again. The goal scorer Jougon, who just scored that rocket a short while ago. And they pick it up there. Bristol, well, Mattis does well. And here's another ball spread out right. Lapel plays the one inside. And Marjon waiting, still trying to go and set it up again. They still haven't been able to finish it off, but this might just be the opportunity now. Gomez, though, able to corral it and avert danger quickly. Fleming trying to get it up there to James, but he is really upended. Big sliding tackle going in, and that is going to be a yellow card as well. So one for each team, and that looks like it's going to Gentile. So it was a bit of a clumsy challenge. So in the 41st minute, Gentile also gets a yellow card.
Yellow card of the CFU Club Franciscain, number 17, Andrew Jean-Toy, in the 41st minute.
So now an opportunity for them to finally get some numbers forward. They have about 6 blue shirts in and around the box. So a lot of shuffling there. Lovely ball played inside, and the keeper is there. But just as they were thinking of getting the shot off, and that's problems there because cannot get away from the wall of white shirts. And what probably would have been better advised to put it back into the area. And instead of trying to run with it, he delayed, and then he realized that he was being closed down rather quickly. But they come again, Ducks now. Good opportunity out on that far side now. Can Wiley get involved? Instead, he decides to go back to John. John looking for the diagonal ball way over on this near side. From way over on that far side it came from, and more of the same from Julian. But again, that communication is just not there. James really starved of service, proper service, that is. And can't seem to get into rhythm at all. I'm sure he would love to unleash one or two of his trademark rockets on goal. See if he can't catch the keeper napping and pull something back for his team here. So we're in the 43rd minute of playing. This is the first half, so we're just a couple of minutes away from the halftime whistle. Of course, catering for whatever additional time that the referee would allow. Referee Timothy Derry trying to control things. James, the ball given away here now. Charles gets it forward, and here's James slipping the ball back, and they have some possession now. Lovely ball played away. Julian frees it up, and once again the pass is an errant one. Ricketts was trying to get it into James, but played it behind him, and that opportunity that looks so promising goes to North. Remember, we're approaching halftime here now. We're in the 44th minute of play, and we'll see how much time or added on time that the referee will allow. We did have a couple of players go down with injuries. Let's see what happens. Lapel decides he's going to go back with it. Abua plays a nice little ball in, and the ball is played right back in the middle. Good opportunity here, but good defensive work from John. And James, again, not helping his cause here. So they're just trying to make sure and try to run out the clock here now. Priam not able to control it, and then had to fight back for it. But another lovely ball played at his feet. He just seemed to get it caught under his boot and lost his balance. So 3-0, and a very polished performance from the Club Franciscain outfit out of Martinique. Charles looking around for something, plays a lovely little ball over the top. And they're trying now quickly to get moving. Ricketts and company not able to. So 2 minutes of added on time to go. And here they go again. Mavraho does well. This is opportunity again. And they seem to get in each other's way. And then he strikes the post. Wow. Again, another great opportunity. The ball slipped inside, and right on spot there was Priam. And he just couldn't hit the target. In fact, he hit the post, and it stayed out. That could easily have been goal number 4. Another opportunity again. Here he is once more, turning, twisting, gets it all the way back to Jugon, the captain. And more problems here. Ball played inside, and just for a moment there, they seemed to relax. And another deflection that concedes another corner kick. So they started on a high, and they're looking to end the half just as energetic and with the steam that they use to really prise open the Ducks defense. Can they tackle on goal number 4 here just before the half? So we enter stoppage time or added on time at the end of the first half. 3-0 it is already. And here it comes. Lovely ball inside. The heads go up. And they will settle for the throw-in. They better do that quickly because I would imagine the referee will be looking at his watch. In fact, he just took a little peek there. And the whistle could come any minute now. Let's see if he allows play to go on for much longer. So there it is. The whistle to signal the end of the first half. Referee Derry says he's had enough. The 2 minutes are up. And 3-0 at the half. Crevel Philippe in the third. Matis Priam in the fourth. And Christophe Joron in the 38th minute. They are the goal scorers. So at the half in this encounter in the CFU Club Shield 2025, Club Franciscain 3, Ducks United 0.
It's not simply about how many games you win, but more about how many lives you touch. This is why we do it.
Because football is life.
Because we know firsthand the power football can positively change lives.
Because there's nothing else you'd rather do.
Because our hearts beat football.
Because there's nothing quite like representing your country.
For the love of the game.
Por el amor.
Pour l'amour. I'd leave the war.
for the love of the beautiful game.
Protection that moves to your beat. Protect your home with Armor Security. With 24/7 monitoring, instant alerts, motion sensors, and rapid response, you and your loved ones stay protected day and night. Sign up for the Protector or Commander package today and get a free security camera and installation. Armor Security, powered by Flow, in partnership with All Pro Security. We keep your rhythm flowing. Visit us in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Once again, we're getting ready for the second half of this game. Remember, it's 3-0 at the half. And again, our coverage is with the kind compliments of the folks from the TTFA, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, in collaboration with Flow, a regional company that has been able to bring us so many sporting events from all over the world. And of course, the CFU and the CFU Under 14 Challenge Series, a girls series from August the 15th through the 24th, and something to look forward to with some anticipation, or with great anticipation, because of the significance of this. Again, the TTFA and Flu, we thank them for their participation in these championships and in this tournament. But here we have a change, or two changes coming up. Charles is off, and also coming out is Fleming.
Ladies and gentlemen, there have been two substitute numbers for Wilkes United at the start in the second half. Entering the game, number 22, Travis Byron. Leaving the game, number 6, Don Ray.
So McShine is on.
Number 20, Jaden McShine. Leaving the game, number 2, Antoine Fleming.
Coming in for Antoine Fleming, and also getting onto the pitch here now, Travis Byron. And he replaces Dondre Charles. So two changes at the half for Ducks, and hoping that that will change their fortunes. Clever Philippe, who's been a real handful, comes to the near side as they get ready for second half action here. 3-0 already for Club Franciscain. Can they add some more to that? I think all the indicators are that they're well on course to doing so. So here we go for second half action in this one, the CFU Club Shield 2025 here at the Addo Bolden Stadium. Club Franciscain again in the white, Ducks United in the blue. They've had their issues, let's put it that way, keeping possession and really creating opportunities of their own. It hasn't been easy. Here's the substitute, Byron, trying to get involved as quickly as possible. But they need to really change up some things quickly. Ricketts and company are going to have to start feeding James a lot better. He's been really starved of good, and whenever they do, it's been tight, very tight for him, and it's been really sometimes much too difficult for them. Here they go again, trying to get in there, but right in that tackle quite nicely is Felipe, the man who scored the first goal. The captain, though, trying a reverse pass here, almost getting through. However, Ricketts now opportunities here, but once again timing it beautifully in Mattis, and takes it away, gets it to Lapel, who's been really patrolling all over the field, as has this man Jouron, the captain, and also showing good anticipation, Abua. Great ball inside, an opportunity here. The referee does blow the whistle though, and this could be a card. Both players stay down, and they're calling for the stretcher immediately. But it was a heavy collision there. It looked like Wiley went into that tackle, and both players went down, and both of them have stayed down. And referee Derry doing the smart thing, not wasting any time. Although the advantage was with Club Franciscain, he saw the seriousness of the collision and decided to bring on the medical personnel as quickly as possible so that they can render whatever assistance would be necessary. but it really was a heavy collision that resulted in now the free kick is going the way of Ducks. I thought for a moment that might have gone to Club Franciscain, but they've decided that it is a free kick going the other way. And here we go. The substitute who's just come on, Byron, trying to get involved in play. And now Ducks. They've had their issues and trying to sort things out here as quickly as possible. Franco. So Felipe is back on the field, as is Wiley. Ducks again. So the free kick to be taken by Franco once more. And looking around now, Gomez, who brought off a couple of big saves, but then has been beaten 3 times already. And on another day, might have been more. Again, the early ball not on, so they decide they're going to take it deep. And Lapel again. Quick 1-2, good movement, good into passing opportunity here. Still it comes over, and that's a lovely goal. Lovely football indeed. Marajo finishes off in style, but it doesn't count. The flag goes up for offsides, and all that good work goes to North. He might have just crept offside. I don't think he was offside, but who would have been offside there in that build-up? But it doesn't count, so it still remains 3-0 on Ducks, as they say, dodged a serious bullet there. But that was so well put together in terms of the build-up play. The interpassing was pristine, it was quick and it's decisive, and they literally just sliced open the Ducks defense. And it was finished off with some class as well. But unfortunately for Marajo, he doesn't get his name on the score sheet. So 5 minutes gone in the second half so far. Can they make this one count now? Not a lovely ball in there. Gomez did very well. And now aimed at in the general area there. But James still trying. But again, like I said, he's really eating scraps at the moment as the lone forward. Now, this is a very high line that Ducks are playing. That is dangerous when you play against a team that can pass the ball as well as Franciscain has been doing. So when they play that square defense and that such a high line, it leaves acres of space behind the defense. And those quick-moving midfielders, all it needs is one ball, and it beats everybody. So you kind of take your poison, if you know what I mean. And you hope that you're able to maybe spring or at least catch get them in the offside trap. Byron doing very well. James down this right-hand side here now. Opportunities for them to get cracking on. McShine also trying to get involved. Lovely ball played over there by Franco, and they're really fighting for everything. McShine decides Gomez is his best option. Back it goes to the keeper, John. Where are his options? But then he gives it away, and they almost get it back. Juan gets it back inside. Prima gives it up, and there is Marajo. Can he get the return ball? That's a lovely ball again. And the goal scorer for the first goal, Felipe, can't control it, but he might get a second bite of the cherry. And in fact, he does. Wins it back nicely, gets it off the boot there of Byron. And away they go again. Abua. He gets a second bite of the cherry and still going. And that was another high boot in there, and feeling it once again. It's Leon Wiley. He's really been through the wars here. He was just down a short while ago and had some attention, some medical attention. And once again, he's the victim of a high boot.
Ladies and gentlemen, a yellow card of the execute of Club Franciscain's number 2, Stefan Abel, in the 53rd minute.
So Abel gets a yellow as well. Really a high boot. But also that ends well, and he's back up Wiley again, trying to get something. McShane trying to get involved and doing his bit here now, using his pace. Can he get the course and still going? Only one man there. It should be a goal, and it is. Pulled away nicely, but that's great work. That was made by McShane going down that right-hand side there. Actually, Byron going down the right-hand side and standing all alone at the back post there. He couldn't miss from there. And he shook off one challenge, picked his spot, and finished it up James. So in the 54th minute, James Ducks on the board.
The score is Club Franciscain 3, Ducks United 1.
And there it is again, unmarked at the back post. And James, who, like I said, has been feeding on scraps all afternoon long, finally gets something he can work with. And voila, in the back of the net for the goal. The opening goal for Ducks. 3-1 now. So, match on. Maybe this might give them some impetus to go forward a little bit more. I'm sure Coach Jeffrey and company would be happy with that. Something that they can work with, no doubt. But they have to defend. That's the first order of business for them here, because this team in white they're not giving up. They keep pouring. They come at you in waves. And they certainly have an eye for the goal. And that's the one thing you have to be so aware of where they are at all times. And their movement is very good as a group collectively. But that's a gift given away and drilled home. Well. You don't want to do that, but that was put on a platter for him. And Johnny Narajo, who had his goal ruled off a short while ago, just as the half started, this time in the 56th minute, he makes no mistake.
Ladies and gentlemen, that goal for Club Franciscain in the 56th minute was scored by number 12, Johnny Narajo. Score is Club Franciscain 4, Ducks United 1.
So that makes it 4-1 now. And so all the hard work they did there, they just undid it. That was such an errant pass. I don't know what Wiley was thinking of there, but he played it right onto the boot of his man. Now here is the speedy guy still going, and that's another. Well, and luckily for him, probably could have been a free kick, but he wins a corner, and just that extra speed there by Byron, Travis Byron, has come on, and this is what you want a substitute to do, really make a difference, and he has certainly made a difference in this game so far since coming on. He's really created real problems. And so we have another player down. In fact, it might actually be the goal scorer. And so they don't want to lose him. So it's been, actually that is Gentile, who was booked earlier, got a yellow card, and but now he's feeling the effects here. So the referee will get play restarted. It's a corner kick to Ducks. So they're down to 10 men at least for the moment now, Club Franciscain. So they have to be careful here. Can they defend this? And brilliant from the goalkeeper Boulois, who sensed the danger, recognized that his team was short, and he just came and was as determined as anybody else to get to the ball, and he did that beautifully. Here is Club Franciscain again. They're on the march once more, and here is Osinme, still going, trying to get the ball back to his captain, and this time he will get only a corner kick out of it. So they have really they've responded to that goal, and they've responded to it in the most emphatic of fashions by not only getting one back to cancel out that item, but they've also now, they're threatening to tack on a couple more, if at all possible. So they are just so, but Gentile is back on the field, but they may be making a substitution at some point. Here's the kick, but that's a little too high. From the moment it left his boot, Lapel knew that that was going to sail. It was way too strong. So 4 goals to 1. So we've had 5 goals in this game. And yesterday we had 3 in 2 matches. One of them was an own goal. Here we have 4 from one team and 1 from the other. Ducks looking to tackle in possibly a second one. James, the intended target. So that's what the game is all about, scoring goals. And we've had quite a few in this game now. 5 of them. And it looks like Gentile is not able to continue. So I think they're going to sub him out, because he's really having a tough time. He's had a good game, but I just feel the whatever the injury is, or whatever the little knock that he took, it is. So Gentile is coming out.
Substitution, Club Franciscain in the 61st minute. Entering the game, number 15, Lemery Ole Stefan. Leaving the game, number 14, Athalie Olivier.
So Athalie Olivier is out, and this man, Gentile, is also out, and he has been replaced by Kirane Liria. And here is Stefane, the substitute, Lemeroy Ole Stefane, who has come on in place
Also
of
entering the game
Olivia.
for Club Franciscain. In the 61st minute, number 9, Karen Leria. Leaving the game, number 17, Andrew Jonte.
So 2 substitutions made there, one of them forced, and for Club Franciscain, and now it looks as if they're going to take off Ricketts, and he is going to be replaced
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution
by Jarvis Jones.
Entering the game, number 8, Jarvis Jones. Leaving the game, number 16, Jermaine Ricketts.
So Jermaine Ricketts gets a breather. Jarvis Jones is coming in, and here again now Club Franciscain doing their bit here to keep things going. Lyria, Jones, who just came on, getting his first touch and doing well, trying to keep the things flowing. John. And there is the goal scorer, James. But again, playing with his back to the goal and in his own half. And they're really taking a lot of punishment. And again, trying to get there, but on Saime, very, very athletic, very quick, especially over short distances. So he's able to quickly get into those positions and really put pressure on the attackers. He's not giving them much breathing room. Another nicely floated ball here. Can he get it to come down? And just like that, it's taken away. And once again, not able to keep full control of it. And somehow he's able to get the touch on that one. But illegally, says the referee. This is a lovely ball again, but well read, you'd have to say. And unfortunately, though, Franco somehow had the goalkeeper easy pass. All he had to do was roll it back to the keeper, up to try to turn with it, turn away from his goal, and actually turn away from the goalkeeper and run into problems there. So a great opportunity now to keep this going. Here's Lear. Plays the ball inside. It's a little too strong, though. Can he keep it in? It's a bit of a foot race and unable to do so in the end. So the game just kind of getting out of balance a little bit here. Now, I'm sure Mattis and company would want to try to regain control of the game, especially regain midfield, control of midfield. And that's where they were so dominant. McShine, way over on that far side it goes. Here is Franco. Looks up, sees that he has John to his right, Gomez rather, before it gets to John. Now John looking for something there. McShine comes short for it. Strokes it over on that far side where he picks out Jones. Jones, the substitutes, trying to get involved a little bit more, which is always good. Keston Julian gets it back to Franco. And again, they're trying to get it over the half line and having real difficulty doing so. Most of their possession is in their own half and precious little in the opponent's half right now. So still a 4-1 scoreline. 5 goals already, but you feel there's a potential for more. And when they score, they can score quickly. But we saw in the first half, the goals were in the 3rd and 4th minutes. And then we had one from Ducks in the 54th and the other, and a quick reply from Franciscain in the 56th. So all it takes is one team or one goal to go in, and we tend to get more. And here they come again on the move. That's a great ball, but well read in the end. And an opportunity for Ducks now. Again, the speedy man James is on his own. He has to be the provider here. And can't get it into that little hole. He was trying to squeeze it in. Lovely ball again over the far side. And there is Lira, who has just come on looking for something. And that man is doing his bit once more. And can he get the shot off? He does. But that's a tame one this time from Lapel on his left foot. Probably would have preferred to have it on his right. But that's lovely skill out there now for Ducks. Can they really build something here? Great little ball. A nice little run also coming there from McShine. But it has to go back because they're not getting much by way of support on top. Thinking of the shot, and then he decides he's going to come all the way over here to Wiley. Great ball inside. The two front men trying to link up here, looking to knife his way in here. This is very enterprising, but it's always fraught with danger. And after that big run, Keanu John stays down in the area. Might have just probably suffering from a little bit of cramp, or might have taken a knock as he was trying to knife his way through two defenders. You can see him cramping up there, the calf muscle. You can feel it when the lactic acid builds up in there. You want to go, but the leg doesn't cooperate. And I think he's feeling the effects of that right now. 69 minutes unofficially gone. So we're approaching the 70-minute mark. 20 minutes left. You can see there in the background, teams warming up for the second game. And that's going to be Dublanc FC out of Dominica and Arnett Gardens out of Jamaica. Arnett Gardens, a powerhouse in Jamaican football, have sent many players to the Jamaican national team and to the World Cup. And they are just primed and ready to go. This is the tournament they expect to win. So we should be in for some goals in the second game later on. But here it's still concern for the fitness of John. Wendell Coffey, it looks like, who is getting ready to take his entry into the game. Might be a little delayed because they're not sure of John's status, so they might just delay that change until unless John indicates that he cannot go. Right now, everything is kind of like on a pause. Let's see if he could shake off that cramp and keep going. It's difficult. It is possible, but it is difficult sometimes, depending on the severity of it. You don't wish that on anybody because it could be very, very uncomfortable. Your mind, you know exactly what you want to do, but somehow you just can't get your legs to cooperate. So Ducks now trying their best to get something started from at the back. Not much. That's another good little ball. And he probably can get, apart from the magic spray, they probably need to get plenty of fluids into his system. James coming out in the extremities of the field, and that's probably not his best position, but he does play a nice little ball in the area, into the area. And Ducks tidying up quite nicely at the back. The ball played away quickly and going for the return ball. Crooks, but Gomez having to do a little bit of magic there, show some of his skills with his foot. You don't like to see it too often. It looks good in the end, but you don't like to see it. McShine spreading the ball all the way out now, where it's picked up out here by Wiley. Wiley has dropped very deep now. McShine again, but most of his passes are back and square. He can't get the chance to pick his head up and move the ball forward. Here he does get a chance now, but he's trying to run with it, and that makes a good pass. Playing the ball, trying to play it into space, but again, James, who's the lone attacker there, can't go. And now we have another player going down. So again, the fatigue starting to step in here, and it's cramp more than anything else. players. This is a big field here at the Adelbolden Stadium, and it's natural grass, so you're covering quite a bit of territory. And it looks like for the moment, like Priam, actually no, Priam Mattis Priam is standing up, and this might just be the end of Felipe. And it's very powerfully built young man. And you can see him just having some difficulty there. And he is going to come off, as is going to be Osinia.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Club Franciscain. Entering the game in the 73rd minute, number 8, Silvius Mama. Leaving the game, number 6, Romain Hussein. Entering the game in the 74th minute, number 18, Delo Axel. Leaving the game, number 11, Clerville Philippe.
So Felipe is out, and so too is Osinmi. But the two men entering the field of play. Deloraxel is one, number 18. And also making an entry into the game here is the number 8, Silvius Marvin. So they're trying to do a little juggling about the place. Maybe just slotting one or two players into new positions as they bring on their substitutes. Ducks, though, trying to take advantage of that just to see if they could just break that wall that they had so far. Good work again from Byron, but they need to get him on the flanks of the field where he could run at the defense. And a nice little ball inside, but played behind the backs of the attacker. And it goes to note, Keston Julian was screaming going in there. Still, it's 4-1, and Ducks need something to happen quickly if they are to get back into this game. Right now, they're just not able to really pick their heads up and also pick out the passes that they like. That's the man scorer of the 4th goal, Marajo, getting involved, looking back now to see that he still has a ball. And this is good work. He thought about releasing it, and in fact, he should have released it first time. Just took that extra touch that cost him. Now an opportunity here, but not much ahead of him, but it will fall for Byron. He gets a chance to run again, which was his run that resulted in the first goal for Ducks. Can he do more of the same here? Goes to the return. Can he get the shot off? And again, it's you-know-who, Lapel, right there in the thick of things, and sending the ball up quickly. This could be problems here, but that's a wait-and-see situation. Still going. The man who's just come on and looking to stretch his legs just a little bit. Marajo gets it back to his captain, Juron. He spreads it wide over on that far side. That's where they have plenty of support. Marvin, the substitute, who's just come on. Ball inside, a little too short now. Juron again, and he has support. This will be dangerous. Marajo, this time he is foiled, but they got a corner kick out of it. So 77 minutes now. And Ducks are going to make another substitution. Keston Julian is going to come off. And finally, Wendell Coffey is going to see some action. But even as he comes on, there is another Ducks player on the carpet. So it hasn't been going well for them. A lot of the players are feeling the effects of the game, the amount of running that they're required to do. If their fitness levels are not up to par, it could be a challenge for them. And we've seen that time and again. And this man has just come on the field, so they don't want to lose him, Travis Byron. Remember, it was his dynamic run and cross that resulted in the goal for James that made it 3-1. But then Marahu tacked on another one to bring it back to 4-1.
Substitution for Ducks United in the 78th minute.
Here's the ball played short, and that is dangerous because he's unmarked at the back post, and he really needed to bring that back across the face of the goal. He had 3 white shirts lining up there, queuing up in the middle of the goal, and for some strange reason he opted to try to probably score from that angle, which was always going to be difficult, Marvin. And so said, so done. Actually, it was Mattis who was trying that stab at goal. This time he's more efficient with the interception. And a lovely ball played across inside Stefani. So they're just stroking the ball around the park now and really stretching the men in blue. Ducks having a hard time really keeping up with the movement and the precision of the passes of the men in white. A nice take on the move, and that's a great ball. This could be more problems here. Maraho with room to work with. He has players queuing up in the box, but the pass, and again, the choice of pass probably wasn't the best, although it has to be said that they will get a corner out of it, but he probably needed a better pass. He used the outside of the right foot, and the defender probably read it every step of the way. So we're going to have another substitution, and Maraho is going to get a breather. So that would have been his last bit of action.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Club
Olivier.
Franciscain in the 81st minute. Entering the game, number 19, Lejus Jacques Olivier. Leaving the game, number 12, Johnny Morajo.
Here's another switch of play over on the far side, but James reads it well. And I'm not quite sure, he was trying to play an early ball in for the new man, Puffy, but got it all wrong. And they just handed it back to White. And here's another lovely ball. The captain, though, is trying to knife his way into the area and showed too much of it. And speaking of showing too much, and Ducks again, every time their forward passes are being stymied, they're just having a hard time really buying time and space and to pick their heads up and really get their runners. They don't have many runners, the front runners that is, at the moment. Remember, For a long time, it was just James operating down the lapel with the interception again. That's a great ball inside. Still going. Another opportunity. Probably the touch took him away from the goal. And then he had to try to get it back across goal when he really should have controlled it better and drill it himself. That was really a cross and not a shot on goal. And they're hoping that the keeper would have gotten a touch. But the referee says otherwise, so it's got throw to Ducks. So we're in the 84th minute of play here now. Time running down on Ducks. As they try their best here, maybe to see if they could tack on another one. But more importantly, avoid conceding a fifth. But this might be better, easier said than done, and that's a brilliant finish. Yet again, as they got exposed once again right in the middle of the goal. And in the 84th minute, just as I was saying, try to avoid going behind further. That is now 5 goals. The ball really unmarked. Look at him. How is he so free in the middle of the goal? And the substitute, Olivier. So Dilla Axel is the man who was credited with the goal.
The score is Club Franciscain 5, Ducks United 1.
So Dilla Axel now making it 5-1, and I think that is kind of like a true reflection of the state of play. Ducks really never ever took control of the game and were always chasing this one. They conceded as early as the 3rd minute and then again in the 4th minute of play. And it's been a fight to dig themselves out of a hole ever since. So now, great ball inside. Coffee on his left foot. Why didn't he take the shot? He eventually took it, but he had it on his left foot. Maybe he doesn't have confidence in that left foot, but it's set up nicely for him there. And instead of whacking it, he tried to bring it back onto the right foot, which he did, and eventually got the shot off, but it was way off target. But it's now, this one is intercepted again. James. Ducks now, do they have some fight left in them in these dying stages here? Something to work with. James again playing a nice little ball inside. Keeper decides he's going to come and end the threat, and does that well enough. So lovely interplay now. Here they go again, fighting for everything, Gomez, and he misses it. Well. Trying his best to get it out. It was an awkward bounce there, but Gomez surely had more than enough time to get that out of his own defensive third. And I'm not sure what he was trying to do. Maybe he changed his mind, and well, whatever he did, he missed the ball completely and conceded another corner. So another opportunity here for the Franciscain. Can they tack on goal number 6? That is not out of the realm of possibilities. Played inside. Coffee trying to get it out, but cannot. And but Ducks again, all their players in their own half, and they're a little bit narrow most of the half. And now they're trying to spring something. Jones gets it back and goes to the return ball. Coffee again. And that's an ambitious ball, to say the least. And cool, calm, composed, as they again start another counter-attack. Only this time it's intercepted. And they have support way out here now on the flanks. Olivier looking at attacking his man, showing way too much of the ball and losing out. So Ducks really with work to do, as they say, nothing ahead of him. So he runs into problems, but still going. And it was his run, remember, that resulted in that goal. So maybe can they get him going once more? See if he can't do something, Byron. But he has assumed a more central position, which is ironic because it was using his speed on the flanks of the field that netted them the goal. But lo and behold, they've decided that a more central position is more adequate. Again, the interpassing is so good from the Martinicans. They've really been slicing and dicing their way through the Ducks defense almost with impunity. And Ducks trying to slow it down as much as possible. McIntyre, the captain, really shell-shocked by what has transpired. And it's not just the score line, it's just the manner in which they're being dismantled here. And they've shown some fight, but it's not enough. And that's really what it is. They've been fighting, and then they've been fighting just to stay afloat in the game. And now a chance. Can they move quickly? Coffee plays a nice little ball back down at that left-hand side. Jones is out there, tries to return the favor. Almost getting into a tangle there, but there is Captain Fantastic to the rescue. Jogon tidies up. And they pick out another man, Priam, who scored that second goal. And they're on the move again. Is he onside? He looks to be offside, and he realizes that he was way off there and didn't bother to go for it. Marvin, who's operating down that right-hand side now since he came on for assignment. The fourth official says that 3 minutes of added on time. So Ducks with very little time to conjure up another goal, and they give it away. So not only can they not score another one, they could concede another one, and that could be a penalty. It is. Gomez coming out there, the ball really given away. Gomez was trying his best to try to get there. So in added on time, in the 91st minute or in the first minute of added on time, a penalty. You look at it again, knifing his way away from the challenge of the goalkeeper, Laria. And then was brought down. So are they going to allow Laria to do the honors, or will the captain take responsibility? Christophe Jougon. We have another Ducks player down in the area. There's been quite a number of that happening. Crooks this time. And but you could see the fitness levels is what is the big difference here. Most of the Ducks players, you could see them, their hands on their hips or they're bending over on their knees. But here we go. Now, and is it? Who is it going to be here now? Trying his best. Priam, who already scored once, looking to make it two, and he does. No sweat at all. So Mattis Priam tacks on a sixth in added on time. So 3 in the first half and 3 in the second half, and it's as easy as you like it. In the roof of the net. Talk about top shelf. That was in the top shelf, up in the Japness there in the corner. And as I say, when you put it in the Japness, few goalkeepers like to go up there. They're afraid to get stung. So 6-1, and Ducks probably pleading with the referee Derry to blow it off.
Gentlemen, that goal for Club Franciscain, minute 90 plus 3, was scored by number 7, Matthews Priam. The score is Club Franciscain 6, Ducks United 1.
So enough time there for another infringement. This time Byron goes down. And so it's, the final whistle could come any minute now. And Ducks may be hoping, especially this man, Gomez, was he hoping sooner rather than later. Because he's had his issues with his control and with his decision making, especially with his distribution. And it has created a real problem for Ducks. But he's not the only one. And this is a great ball. And once again, it's just a little too far. The story of their day so far, Wiley not able to catch up to that one. So more problems. Olivier goes forward with it now. They keep possession. And is he onside? He came back onside just in time, Olivier. And Priam in two minds there. He was trying to either play it way out or play it forward, and he did neither. And that is the final whistle in this one. So 6-1 is the final. And congratulations again to Club Franciscain out of Martinique. Cleverel Philippe in the 3rd minute. Matis Priam in the 4th. Christophe Jougon in the 38th. Of course, Johnny Marahu in the 56th. Remember, it was 3-0 at the half. Ducks reduced it to 3-1 in the 54th when James netted a beauty. But again, it was Marahu who wiped that goal off to make it 4-1. And then Axel in the 84th made it 5-1. And then in added on time, a penalty by Priam completed the scoring. 6-1, the final here in this encounter. Club Franciscain over Ducks United. I'll look back here at some of the highlights from this. Would have been early in the game. Lovely ball floated in here, and there's an unmarked coming in at the back post to open the scoring, and that was Felipe, clever Felipe, and a nice little ball over on the far side. And then once the return came in, look at the header, unmarked again, and Priam tucking that one away quite nicely. That was 2-0 after just 4 minutes. And there was more, another header off the bar this time. And they still couldn't get the ball out of the danger zone. And then once this cross came in, the defense again prized open. Luckily for them, the finish just wasn't there. But they would get the third one eventually. Good interpassing once more. And really just careless defending at times, just allowing the ball to run loose in the midfield area. Ducks, though, having a tough time getting control of the game. Not so much for Franciscain because they kept probing and doing their bit And that was another opportunity there. That could easily have been the third goal at that stage. And a few players with some bruises to show that they were in a battle. But this was always too many opportunities here, and another deflection that kept it out. And really, they were exposed at the back time and again. An attempted volley there from lapel, unwise, one would have to say. But this free kick, it resulted in a yellow card, the infringement, but then the free kick was a beauty. Look at how this ball swerved and moved. The goalkeeper was going one way and the ball went the other. And that made it 3-0 in the first half. But Ducks were trying their best. James frustrated because he wasn't getting any real service. And they were exposed time and again. Who wants it? And the force this time got in the way. Great ball control now. Second half action. And this one was a free kick that both players were attended to. This goal nicely finished, but it didn't count. The approach was very good. They just couldn't finish it. And here is the goal that made it 3-1 in the 54th minute. And lovely finish there from James. But then they just gifted it right back to Franciscain, and they didn't waste too much time, making it 4-1. And more of an opportunity there. That made it 5-1. And they were certainly on their way. Look at how much room in the area. And not much the defenders could do. Franco really trying his best. But it was a one-man show. And too often they just gave the ball away. And it was what came after that proved to be their undoing. Because the men in white were very clinical and they were very opportunistic as well, taking advantage of those opportunities. And here's one of them, Gomez, the goalkeeper, frustrated, no doubt, but Laria tripped up, and then Priam making no mistake to finish the scoring. 6-1, the final score.
Not simply about how many games you win, but more about how many lives you touch. This is why we do it.
Because football is life.
Because we know firsthand the power of football can positively change lives.
Because there's nothing else you'd rather do.
Because our hearts beat football.
Because there's nothing quite like representing your country.
For the love of the game.
Por el amor.
Pour l'amour. I'd leave the war.
For the love of the beautiful game.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with